Well, the US election is over, bar the shouting, though it looks like the shouting part will be loud and protracted. Either way, whatever your views on US politics, the incoming administration faces massive challenges. First and foremost, the COVID-19 crisis is raging out of control across some parts of America. As a direct result of the COVID crisis and America's haphazard political response so far, US jobless figures remain deeply concerning. Though many have returned to work in recent months, the jobless rate is still well above where it was at the start of the year. Many communities are hurting, and America's feral politics has only added to the pain. Meanwhile, the power of new technology is driving the robot revolution forward. This is doing to blue and white collar jobs what automation in manufacturing has done to factory workers' jobs over the last 50 years. In America's swing states, this will translate into many job losses in retail jobs and truck driving, two of the biggest pools of employment. But though these problems loom large right now, they are not the main game. Climate change is already costing many economies a huge amount in terms of property destruction and lost output. Environmental degradation is threatening not just our quality of life, but also the prospects for some of our most important industries. Social tension driven by relentless polarization of wealth around the world, as well as systemic racial injustices and other forms of discrimination, are increasing the risk that the struggles of the median family will boil over into revolutionary change. It wouldn't be the first time this had happened in America or in Europe or in Asia for that matter. The good news is that the COVID-19 outbreak will eventually pass, and indeed the recent news on vaccines is encouraging. But there's no vaccine for climate change or pollution or unemployment. These need assertive, direct action by governments, companies, investors, communities, and indeed individuals. So, the way the incoming Biden administration addresses all these challenges is incredibly important, not just to the US economy or to US citizens, not just to understanding where the best commercial and investment opportunities might lie in the USA over the short term, but also to understanding how the global geopolitical landscape is likely to evolve and the implications for cross-border trade and investment. To help us understand what is going on and what this means for decision making in your business or for your family for that matter, we are very lucky to have with us some of the best informed and most thoughtful commentators on the underlying issues from around the world, including Rishad Tobaccowala in Chicago, who was instrumental in developing the digital agency business at Publicis Group and who is author of the book Restoring the Soul of Business. Professor Andrew Preston, a historian of US history at Clare College, Cambridge, who specialises in the history of US foreign relations and also has some very interesting perspectives on polarisation in American politics. And Blair Palese, who amongst other things co-founded 350.org in Australia and who is a global expert on the environment and climate change and social activism and who joins us from Sydney in Australia. We are also delighted to have with us today the wonderful Cassandra Kelly as our host from her base in New York. As always, ESGX Live will be down to earth, fact-based and interactive as we explore what we can each do to help address these huge environmental, economic and social issues. So please do share a link to this event with your friends. You can just point them to live.esgx.org, and if you are watching on YouTube or social media, then please do subscribe, follow us and use the like button. Finally, from me, Nigel Lake in New York, and my co-host Paul Herman in San Francisco, a sincere thank you to our ongoing sponsors Pottinger and Hip Investor, thanks to whom ESGX Live is free, open to all and global. We very much look forward to the discussion.